All right, so my last video, I got cut off from y'all. I do apologize for that. Happens frequently. There's a lot of spammers on YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that. Just dead. A lot of people here on YouTube, they got a bunch of people who pick names that seem like real people's names, and then they spam the shit out of you. I'm gonna give you an example here. All right, so in my notifications, right below dyslexic, and that person talking to me about can openers, there's this person called Paul Scott commented at 28 seconds, crazy-girls.online. And then right below that, there's a spammer named Ronald Campbell who commented at 43 seconds into the video, coronavirus-sexgirls.online. I get a lot of that shit. See, here's another one. This is another spammer type group. This one's name is Gossip and commented, loved it. People like this, these people just type loved it on stuff. They're not actually interested. These are spam sites. And most of them, they're just trying to spam mostly your kids, believe it or not. But it's when they find somebody they can target and they type stuff like this. And you might not think that spamming loved it is damaging, but really it is damaging. It gets annoying seeing these spammers who you can't reply to them. If you type something back to them, they're not going to reply back to you ever under any circumstances. It's because it's a fucking bot. Now, those of you who are not familiar with that term, a bot is a computer program that is supposed to mimic or pretend it's a human. They're not humans. All right, so dyslexic just typed Sean David. Well, if it's too deep for a regular can opener, I don't thin. And of course, that's just a little notification in the corner, so it doesn't show the whole thing. But this person, I already know what they're going to say. If it's too deep for a regular can opener, they don't think the can opener that I'm asking for will work. It absolutely will, because it's not too deep. And I'll show you why. You see this? This isn't deep. The can openers who cut around the exterior can grab that easily and do the job. This part right here isn't a whole lot thicker than this right here. Well, actually, it's about 3 times the thickness. But the point is, those can openers that go around the exterior of it, they actually have enough room and enough grip to get in there and get that cut. I know for a fact because I have used them specifically for this purpose. Now, albeit the can opener that I used was, see, this is a pretty big filter. This one's about an average filter. The one from my car was only about that tall. And it was an old one from my car that I actually cut open. But I didn't cut it open because I wanted to see everything that was in it or mess around with the oil. I cut it open just so I could see what the inside looked like, so that I could see with my own 2 eyes and have an actual 3D visual reference instead of a 2D representation in CGI. CGI is computer-generated imaging. This part right here, though, it's about 3 times as deep, 4 times as deep as on a regular can. So a regular can opener won't get down that far. What I'm trying to explain to this person is that I am not, if it's too deep to cut it that way because of the disc, but it's not too deep for the ones that go around the ring because the disc attaches to that right there, then yeah, where he is trying to type is as far from what I'm trying to say as possible. Now, this Gossip person typing loved it, they'll just keep typing that stuff until you block them. And then somebody else will do it, because a lot of the people that I blocked from my site, I'm scrolling through the notifications here, and there's a lot more of them. Here's another one. Ghost commented, "Cool video, my guy." Now this is something that all of these bots will say to you. All of them. "Cool video, my guy." And if it's not "cool video, my guy," or something similar to that, which all of these bots use the same exact words, all right? There's like 10 different things that they'll say, or 5 different things that they'll say. And when you block a bot, they assign another bot to do this. Another one is John Carter commented at 30 seconds, cool-dating.online. And then there's one called PRYXYX, who just keeps on repeatedly typing, "Want to be friends, want to be friends, want to be friends." I've replied to them. They never reply back. They just send it in another video. "Want to be friends, want to be friends, want to be friends, want to be friends." And then going back through this, here's another one. Goes commented, "Nice content, bro. Nice content, bro. Nice content, bro." And each and every one of these sites sends that too. "Nice content, bro." "My guy," and "bro." As if a machine typing that shit to me is going to make me really think that they're a human being. No, it's an algorithm. Martin Edward commented at 48 seconds, free-girls18.com. Here's Marjorie commented, "Want to be friends." George Carter commented at 29 seconds, sweetie-girls online. Edith commented, "Want to be friends." Now, Edith, EDYTH, and Marjorie, MARJORY, have the exact same profile picture. And they're typing the exact same thing. That's a bot. Not BOUGHT as in you bought some idiot on your computer, but as in BOT, like a robot. But it's obviously not a physical robot. It's a computer generated bit of it. It's kind of like the difference between, well, let's say Rome Total War, for example. If you're fighting a real war, you're killing real human beings and they don't come back. If you're playing Rome Total War, you are killing pixels and, well, they're just pixels. You didn't end a life. They're just bots. They're not actual human beings. And, you know, as I scroll through here, there's a bunch more. Another one from Ghost, "Nice content, bro." One from Teddy, who has the same profile picture as, what was it, Edith or whatever? I'm not going to scroll it to find out if that's right or not. And what does it say? "Want to be friends." Same profile picture, different name, same exact words. Here's one. Marlena McElroy commented, "Please accept my friend request." Now, this person actually helped me just because they wanted to get Snoopy. I need help. I don't need nut jobs like Marlena McElroy who are going to pretend just so that I will add them to my friends list so that they can go snooping for stuff they can hate me for and then block me. Like, really? You never had the intent of helping me. You fucking lied out your ass. Fuck you. Now, there's a whole bunch more. Here's Robert Parker at 39 seconds. Sexy-MILFs online. Let's see. I'm going through a lot of actual comments by a lot of you too while I'm going through these. And it also tells me when people subscribe and shit. Here's Cindy. Same picture as those others. Never responds though. Here's one who calls themselves Blade, BLAIDE. And their comment is, "Loved it." Here's another one from Blade. Loved it. Here's one from Lucretia. That's actually a famous Roman name. Do any of y'all know who Lucretia is? Let's see. Lucretia commented, "Want to be friends?" Let's see. And then we go down further. Michael Davis commented at 50 seconds, crazygirls24.com. Here's Hetty, Hetty, has the same picture as all of those other people. It's a little lemon with an army helmet, and it says, "Loved it," and another one from Hetty that says, "Want to be friends." These are bots, folks. Wow. There is a lot of stuff on here. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do is, since Dyslexic typed to me, I'm going to go into notifications to start the thing over and see exactly what it is that it said. Sean David, well, if it's too deep for a regular can opener, I don't think you will have much more luck with a side opener either. Now, like I said, that's probably what was the continuance of what little notification was. I already knew what Dyslexic was going to type, and Dyslexic is completely wrong. I've used the side opening can openers before. I specifically bought a side opening can opener for this task when I lived at Ken and Leah's. I used it for this task at Ken and Leah's. If it didn't work, I wouldn't be asking for it. If I didn't know if it worked or not, then I might. When I originally bought it all those years ago, I bought it just in the hope that it would work. I had no idea if it was going to work or not. I knew that it was going to take forever to go through it with a hacksaw, and I wanted to be able to take it apart, look inside, and then put it back together. So Dyslexic doesn't understand and doesn't get it, and obviously if they're sending me this after I made an entire video to explain to them that, yeah, it's not going to work, yeah, you're not going to be able to get Dyslexic to understand that their opinion doesn't detract from the fact that I'm telling you facts. Your opinion of how you think it may or may not work from 30 seconds of whatever it is that you looked up is completely different from someone who has years of experience with many different tools and junk, works with junk, works with very specialty tools that aren't necessarily what it is that you might be using them for, but that's how you find out if they work. You know how I was able to get my oil filter off of my car when I didn't have an oil filter thing? I'll show you. Instead of spending $23 to get a specialty tool that will unscrew an oil filter, I used a belt that I already had. Imagine that. Now, somebody who doesn't know that and doesn't know that story might spend 3 or 4 hours arguing with me, or they think they have a great idea and then they feel bad when that great idea isn't going to work, but they want it to work. It's their idea. It has to work. Nearly everyone that I dealt with as far as the Natalie situation, they were all exactly the same way. Now, this person doesn't mean anything by it. They're not trying to be rude or inconsiderate by it. But at the same time, you know, hey, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I've already tried it. I know that it works. That's why I'm asking for that specific tool. If I had to take off another oil filter out of a vehicle between spending $6 on a belt or $2 on a used belt or $27 on a funky strap metal thingy to take it off, my belt works. Why get a funky metal strap thingy? A lot of people have their own ideas, and no matter how much you explain to them the actual situation, you can't move past their own opinions. And that is more of a factor when you're dealing with someone who's on drugs or alcohol. Shannon Alvarado, for example, she didn't mean any harm, but she did a lot of harm. And most of that harm, or nearly all of that harm, came from her alcoholism and the way that it affects her and the way that she treats others. Now, then there's the fact that she's basically in control of that house. She got her boyfriend, who she was going to pay him to help her with her daughter, who is autistic, and he's supposed to come over and help. He's also got a job at the time working for Uber. So he can't go to work for Uber because every time he's getting ready to, Shannon Alvarado has a freak out and she needs him there to help with her daughter. No, she doesn't. And then on the few times that he did get to go out to work, he comes back and he has to deal with, for a week and a half to 2 weeks, screaming every single night about how he's a cheater because there's 10 minutes there that she can't account for. Sure, he could bust a nut in 10 minutes. Yes, he could get naked and get her naked and bust a nut and get dressed and come home all in 10 minutes. Now, that is an entire possibility. There are a lot of guys who, well, they don't last long. But the other thing is, we're not supposed to. We're not supposed to fuck for 4 hours. Our biology isn't made that way. Now, y'all want to make fun of dudes who are two-pump chumps. First of all, we're not supposed to fuck for 4 hours, okay? Somebody who has not been circumcised is not going to last as long, but they have a fully functional penis, whereas you cut off most of the important nerve endings and much of the important portions of a male's reproductive portions when you decide that, yeah, this is a baby and we care more about sexual preference later on than anything else. Oh, penises that are uncircumcised are gross. No, they're not. An erect penis, whether it's circumcised or not, looks about the same. The difference is, if you're circumcised like me, it's dry. It's not supposed to be. Now, as far as infections go, first of all, your chance of getting penile cancer are less than your chances of getting breast cancer if you're a male. That is true. Also, the American Cancer Society has already released that that's a wives' tale. If you don't circumcise your child, they are not going to get an increased chance of having penile cancer. Also, when you talk about how dirty and filthy it is, that portion of the penis is attached until you hit puberty, which means that you can't get it dirty. And when it starts to separate and you have to start washing it, yes, you have to wash it, just like you have to wash your hands, just like you have to wash between your toes, just like you have to wash your butt crack. Yes, you have to wash it. No, it does not increase the chances of infection. And then a lot of people say, oh, well, it'll help to protect you. It'll help to protect you from getting STDs. No, circumcision does not protect you from STDs. Condoms prevent you from getting STDs. Not having sex prevents you from getting STDs. Now, why am I going off on this instead of a goddamn can opener? Well, because at this point, that's actually something that's pretty important. I'm sick and tired of being told about how terrible men are to everybody, but men magically have wonderful and perfect lives. I had my penis chopped up before I even knew what a penis was for, before I could crawl, before I could speak, Before I could even hold my own goddamn head off, my mother had my penis mutilated over wives' tales and bullshit. Over women's sexual preference. And you talk about how men only think about one thing. You are already thinking about sex when your child has just been pushed out of your vagina. Most babies haven't been out of their mother's vagina for a week when she's desecrating their sexual organs, their reproductive organs, for the sake of some girl in the future's opinion about how it looks. We have seen time and time again that looks are far more important to women than they have ever been to men. And men do care a lot about looks. They truly do. When you see how much men care about looks, and then you realize how much more important that is to women than men, you realize teaching. Many of the girls that I knew there were taught differently. They were taught to judge a man based on the content of his character and not the way he looks. But not all of them. Boulder is still full of yuppie college kids. Now, let's take a look at riots. Well, you guys want to hate on the homeless and the black people. Let's look historically at who riots. Most of the kids that I saw doing illegal acts during those riots, which were peaceful protests, if there are 10,000 peaceful protesters and 6 rioters, you don't get to blame 10,000 people for the actions of those 6 just because they happen to be in the same area. The Boulder riots. I'm not sure how much you guys know about the riots in Boulder. What did they fucking riot over? What the fuck did Boulder riot over in the 90s? That's right. They rioted over the fucking avalanche. Not an avalanche in the mountain that killed a bunch of people, but the hockey team winning a fucking game. College kids. We're not talking about homeless people. These are college kids. And what did the police do? They watched, and then they tasered little girls and homeless people. While college kids are lighting couches on fire and shoving them out the second-story window of their dorm, the police are running around tasering little girls and homeless people. Yeah. The rules are always different for us than they are for others, aren't they? Like, it's okay for you to beat on your wife in the privacy of your own home and to call her a cunt and a stupid snatch and a dumb whore, right? But somebody says it out loud. Instead of being a coward and hiding it like you, when somebody says it loud and proud, because they're not doing it just to be mean. They're doing it to bring attention to this fucking issue. Then you, who beats your wife, actually beats your wife, wants to pretend that I'm a bad person because I spoke up in public. When all of these people wanted to threaten me in text messages, I'm somehow magically a bad person because I post up in public for God and everybody to see. I don't hide like a fucking coward. Let's see. Necro Dead commented, "Hey Sean, if you could show me an example of that side cutting style can opener, I would like to send you one for your project. Just want to make sure I get the one that will work for you." Somebody actually got a hold of me yesterday to tell me that they're going to already, so hopefully they come through. I do actually have a picture of it from that person because they wanted to know, and they sent me a picture. Is this it? Yes, it's that style of can opener. I'm gonna cover their name, but let me click back over to this so I can see what I'm showing. That's the can opener. It cuts around the side instead of around the top. The kind that you see advertised, that you can take the top off without cutting your fingers, and then you can put the cap back on. That's the one. They sell them at Walmart, 2 different types. One of them is $14, and one of them is like $18. They also sell them at Safeway, and the Safeway model isn't as good, but it still functions. MacGyver, I'm sorry, I didn't realize there were comments here because I haven't actually been seeing this. I've been looking at another screen. It says, is that an oil filter? Yes. Social media is not so good. I don't do it. Can't trust people. That's true. HD, YouTube have actually acknowledged these bots. They haven't done anything about them because they probably boost new on some videos. Neutrino type, those wannabe comments are definitely bots. Ashley typed, I'm anti-social media. YouTube is as social as I get. Ha ha ha. Neutrino type, yeah, same Ashley. Neutrino type, they show their fake lives on social media. I show my real life on social media. A lot of the people that post on social media that were friends of mine, they only post up the positive stuff in their life, the pretty pictures of them with their families. But then I've got in my messages between them and I, the fact that dad's beating her, her sister's molesting her, and that's not what she shows the world. That's not what her family shows the world. That's not what people do. We pretend we don't have problems and they'll magically go away. No. Dad still hit her.